Uh, okay, hello, welcome. We're going to start a new Warhammer 2 Total War campaign here, Albion, in a little bit. So I would like to first go over my mod list because it has changed somewhat, and so that we all know what I'm going to be working with. Okay, so this is the mod manager, which I do recommend for running with any mods. It makes it a lot easier. This way. So, right. Not much has changed. I have added a few others, and I'm going to be having a look at them. The thing is, I haven't really done a long campaign. I don't think any of the campaigns I've done on streams have gone past 100 turns. The Halfling one did, I think. Other ones have been a bit shorter than that. But anyway, so let's see. I've still got the Chaos Dwarves. Mixu's Legendary Lords is there. This I haven't. This isn't active. Krynos' Faction Unlocker Plus. This isn't activated. I'm still subscribed to it, though I use Mixu's Unlocker. Because I think it's because of the compatibility it has with a few other mods I have. This is outdated. This is for Ultimate Chaos and Krynos' Faction Unlocker, since Ultimate Chaos is outdated. Why So Furious as additional Lords and Heroes. This adds things like Genevieve, Conrad von Carstein, Mellowboard, and Zacharias the Everliving, I think. Just a few other Lords and Heroes around the place. It's not a massive pack. I think it's only like 5 characters. But it adds a bit more variety. Kislev Warbears, that's not been updated, because I think Kislev is currently getting a rework, maybe? Kataf Southern Realms, very good. There's the expanded roster Kislev. Currently outdated, so we're not playing with the... This is actually the one which I think gives the garrison change. Actually, okay. Since this is outdated, this one I think gives the garrison changes, whereas normally they have just the Empire units in their settlements. I think actually the base mod, which gives the Kislev, is updated, so that's fine. So we are playing with Kislev. Sorry, I'm getting confused. We are playing with Kislev. I think this one just updates a few things about the garrisons, as I said, and the Warbear ones just makes the Warbears look a bit better than the normal ones. Let's actually have a look. Here's the faction overhaul. Removal of all vanilla units, except for Mortar. Redesign garrisons to include units from the main mod, and modify technology trees with new effects. Okay, and that's key effects. Anyway, so it just makes Kislev a bit more Kislev. Right. These aren't needed anymore. GCCM Settlement Pack 1 and 2, and also the Island Battles, because they're included in the main mod, as it's saying here. I'm still subscribed to them, though. I don't need to be anymore. Unique Faction Capitals. This hasn't been updated. So, unfortunately, we won't be able to see the nice settlements they have for it. No degradation, persistent summons. That's one which I always have. It just means summoned units don't lose health. Uniforms and Heraldry of Bretonia. That's active. The Mount Heraldry, I don't think that's updated anymore. I think there was problems with getting them to match up with the Knights or something. Empire Heraldry of the Dwarves, Empire, Greenskins, High Elves. High Elves hasn't been updated, but these ones have. This might be compatible. This is just texture packs. They just give more variety, and the high elf one's really nice because it gives them nicer shields with very detailed designs on them. Let's see. Apparently the mod author is working on an update. And won't be ready before the next DLC. Okay. Oh, he's working on one for the Druki Dark Elves. Right, I think I saw pictures of that. I'll have to have a look at that. Because the Dark Elves, I didn't mind so much that the Dark Elves don't have unique, like, shields and heraldry and all that, because it kind of matches their more military demeanor, but having the designs for the High Elves is really nice on their shields, because it, you know, they're flashy. The Skaven, it's the same, it just adds a few more. It actually changes how the units look based on which faction you're playing. So if you're playing as Pestilence, your clan rats and all that look a bit more plaguey than normal. And if you're playing as Eshin, I think their units look more sneaky overall. It's like hoods and so on. Imperial Master Engineer just adds another hero. The Master Engineer for the Empire. There's the Ultimate Chaos things. Flamboyant Chaos Dwarf Invasion, which we have seen. It just means the Chaos Dwarves invade on the map at some point, so we get to see them, possibly. Vangeist's Revenge, which we had a look at, and yes, the campaign for that, if you haven't... if you didn't catch my mentioning of it, in the... Oh, what? In some of the streams I did after that, or on the, I think I made a mention of it in the playlist for Vangeist's Revenge, which I made. It kind of hidden, I suppose, but... And this will... I don't really have a good main location to report things. Anyway, Vangeist's Revenge. Yeah, the campaign for that ended prematurely because one of the mods updated and my campaign file was not loading. So, it's a shame. We might get back to do it sometime because I did like it and I'd have to start a new campaign. Anyway, Mix's Legendary Lords 2, just the second part of that one. Musalon, makes Musalon a bit more unique. Tracker-Drac, Hagen F Executioners and armored High Elf Archers, not armored elephants. Very important mod, as I've said. Adds the pointed helmets to the Executioners rather than the skull masks. Don't know what that is. Southern Realms, again. Subculture overhaul. Oh, this is an asset storage. Okay. Catafandi's Return of the Lichmaster, which I think had an update recently, which fixed the problem I was having of all the extra Kemblers spawning, and hopefully it should be getting rid of them. From my understanding, it's a problem which has popped up frequently and has to be quashed every now and then so that you don't end up drowning in Kemblers. It's part of the life system, so I might be able to have another look at it sometime. Community bug fix mod just fixes bugs in the interim while Creative Assembly gets to them. Also ones which they might not fix. Expanded roster for the Beastmen, just adds some more units. Same with the Greenskins. Packs for the Goblins and Orcs. Land Encounters. This is a new one which I got. So this one, on the sea in Warhammer Total War, Warhammer 2 Total War, on the sea there is little objects. There's little areas which appear, which you can send an army to have an event occur and get some bonuses for your army, or find some loot, and maybe have to fight an army in the process. This does the same thing, but it makes them so that you can find them on land. I did have a brief campaign as Gorok, and I encountered one of them on land, and I had to fight a Skaven army for, I think, maybe about 3,500 gold, and maybe Fencer's Blades or something I think I got for that. I think the land encounters aren't as good as the sea encounters because they're easier to get to, just so that the sea encounters are more valuable still. But it should be interesting. Sort of gives a bit more of the whole adventuring and vibe to going around the world, and it would also possibly help like Beastmen factions, because you'd be able to, you know, roam around and not necessarily have to attack settlements to get money. You can just, like, raid bandit. The one which I got was talking about a bandit hideout, which turned out to be Skaven, so that was pretty cool. This is the main mod for GCCM. Adds all the community maps and the custom assets, which I think adds things like those turrets on the towers. Grudges Matter. That is that. Well, let me just have a look at this. this is one which I had a look at. It wouldn't really come into play if we play as the dwarves. Oh, it hasn't been updated. Okay, I think this one just makes the grudges have bigger penalties or something like that, but I haven't played as the dwarves since I got that, so I haven't been able to get a good idea about it. Immersive battle banners. Now, this is the original mod, and then the mod was actually picked up by another modder who had updated it with the permission by the original mod author, because I believe they left modding. So this is the actual one, Immersive battle banners, updated for Shadow and the Blade. So I still have the original one subscribed to, but this. It just adds these nice banner designs for factions. Large units can attack walls submod plus minus. Makes miners really large so that they can knock down walls. No, this gives the wall breaker ability to a bunch of units in the game, which it would make sense for them to have. This is things like the giants, Dread Saurian, I believe, or the lizardmen can knock down walls. What else? Maybe the Cavalry Necrosphinx or something like that. Generally large creatures. It also allows miners for the dwarves to knock down walls with their melee attack, which is the sub-mod which I have. I've talked about this before. Don't know whether we'll be able to see it. I don't think any units in Albion. It's mostly something which affects base game factions. What else? Lawful great power. This is this one means that I've mentioned this one also. You can sort of see here it divides up territories based on their faction, which traditionally holds that territory. And if, say, Bretonnia takes part of Athel Loren as a faction will get negative penalty to their diplomacy with Bretonnia, while Bretonnia holds part of their territory. The same thing happens if, say, the Empire takes part of which is supposed to be Bretonnia. So Bretonnia will think negatively about the Empire. It should. I've got it mostly just so that it mixes up the diplomacy a bit more, so that there's more negative values between each other. Possibly the penalty isn't that big, but I did see that the mod maker mentioned that the penalties get larger as the campaign goes on, so I haven't had a look at that. Lawful diplomacy. This is one which I was having a look at, and I don't know whether I'll play with it or not. This has kind of a... It seems interesting. What it does is it makes it so that there's some hard things factions can and can't do in regards to diplomacy. Like, the Empire can never get any type of non-aggression agreement with the Skaven. High Elves can't declare war on each other. And things like that. I haven't played with it because while I like a lot of the things, I kind of don't like the idea of, like, the High Elves not being able to fight each other, because while it may not necessarily be lawful, I kind of like it if factions are able to go to war with each other, because like having a dwarven civil war, because grudges get so great that they just end up going to war with the High King or whatever. I'm not too bothered by it. Things could be that dramatic and collapse that much in the dwarven realm or whatever. So I haven't played with it yet because of that. Make AI not ignore each other. This was one which I saw, which seems interesting. So what this does is apparently, let's see. on the mod page, what this mod does is that if an AI faction has -200 or worse standing with another AI faction, it will roll a random number between 0 and -1000. If the standing is less than the random number roll, the AI will declare war, meaning that starting at -200, an AI has a 1 in 5 chances of declaring war to the AI it dislikes. And as the standings deteriorate, the more likely it is that they will. At -500, they will have a 50% chance to declare war per turn, and at -1000 and beyond, it will be 100%. The one likely they will reach that point before having declared war before with this mod. As the thing above, this mod makes it so that the AI doesn't ignore each other if they dislike each other enough. Basically, there is an issue where AI factions will not declare war on each other, even if they really dislike each other. Even at -1000 standing, if they are both at war with the human player, or if the AI considers they have enough wars going on at the moment. Usually, war with the player is enough wars for most factions. So what this means is that, I suppose it will possibly break up if like the AI focusing on the player. And so it's like, even if they are at war with the player, they will possibly go to war with other factions. This might help, because I think sometimes in my other campaigns, I have seen that a faction dislikes another faction to a great degree, but because they're at war with me, they don't end up going to war with each other. And they just sort of exist next to each other, hating each other, until the diplomacy goes into positive, because, you know, they're fighting me. And then they team up against me or something, so it'll make them possibly a bit more warlike, warmongering. Things collapse into chaos a bit more easily. OVN Lost Factions 1 and 2. This is just OVN Lost Factions by Shaky Rivers. Is what we're going to be using to play as Albion. Greenskin Animosity. Again, I haven't actually played with this mod yet. It hasn't been updated, I don't think. What this did is it gives Orc Boys a passive ability. For what I'm seeing here, it gives them Animosity, which is something they had on the tabletop, where every turn the Greenskins had to roll a dice to see what their boys would do, if they weren't within range of, like, their lord or a Black Orc or something like that, I think, to keep them under control. So it's sort of like roll a dice. If it's something or other, they fight amongst themselves for the turn. If it's something else, then they move forward slightly. If it's something else, they charge the nearest enemy unit. This was to make up for the fact that the Orc Boys are tougher and deal more damage in melee than normal, to give them an aspect of randomness. Because also they're quite undisciplined, and they're as likely to fight each other as they are the enemy. For what I'm seeing here, the ability gave them, if they're out of melee, a chance to freeze vigor and a chance to rampage. But it had different effects. Let's see. We'll show them. Freeze vigor and rampage. Yes, and like Grimgore Ironhide had an ability called Quell Animosity, which stops rampage and minus 10% vigor. So. And Get On With It, or Azag, which stops rampage. So, and removes rampage, I think. So, the new passage had a 1 in 6 chance every 40 seconds to trigger. This only happens if the unit is out of melee. So, yeah. It was an interesting mod, but I don't think the mod author has had time to update it. Faction flag toggle. This is nice. This just gets rid of the little... what's it called? The little shield in the middle there, so you can see the entire garrison, because sometimes some of them are usually hidden behind a little banner here. That's just a nice little thing. Anvil of Wall. This is only if we play as the High Elves. It gives them a crafting system like the Dwarves and the Tomb Kings have. This is just for modding, for menus and all that, which mods might use. Unique steam tanks. That hasn't been updated. This added a variety of unique steam tanks to other factions. One with like a mortar on it, one with a hell blaster volley gun on the front, and so on. Also a melee one. No fog. I don't play with this unless... the only time I use this one is if I want to have a look at the entire map after an update's changed, so that I can see what's changed in the world map. So that just removes the fog of war, so I can see the entire map. Runic Forge for the dwarves. That was updated after the dwarves got their own crafting by Creative Assembly, but it hasn't been updated, and they did work side by side. And community modding framework. So yes, the main ones which I added is Lawful Great Power, land encounters, and Lawful Diplomacy, which we're probably not going to be playing with anyway. Now we're actually going to load the game and get into a campaign. Right, now we're in Warhammer 2. We are going to start a new campaign. I haven't deleted all my previous saves. That's something which I do recommend people do frequently, because the save files themselves are rather large. I think like 5 meg, and they build up if you make as many saves as I do.
We must preserve.
Okay, so out of all the factions we have available, we are going to be playing as Albion. Albion is all the way down here. Here we are. You see quite a lot has been changed about them. Morrigan, the Phantom Queen, is our legendary lord. So, Albion. Albion is this island here. It's, I really know very little about it. I have read a bit more about it since, because I was kindly asked by Shaker Rivers whether I'd like to write some of the diplomatic lines again for the faction. That was nice, and I did so. But yeah, I had to actually read up about Albion a bit to learn some things about them, and what I know might be might be compiled with like fan-made stuff, because some of these factions, some of the wikis and all that, while they're very good, they oftentimes include fan-made information along with the official information, so it can be a bit confusing as to what's official and what's expanded upon by, you know, fans from a specific publication which came out over the years. Anyway, Albion, from what I understand, it's essentially like Britain. In like, you know, the Druidic period, where it's a land constantly enshrouded by storm clouds and covered in swamps and fens and bogs, and people live there. There's druids, there's the Ogham Stones, which are like, well, stone circles, which they actually use to channel the forces of chaos there. From my readings about them, Albion was originally created as a paradise by the Old Ones when they came to the Warhammer world. The Old Ones are the people who are the beings which originally created a number of the races which we see in Warhammer. The Elves, humans, the dwarves, I suppose, the lizard men, the Old Ones figure very heavily into lizard men. And they created Albion as a kind of paradise, where they had a lot of their testing grounds, I suppose you'd say, and they shared secrets with the truth speakers there, or Truthsayers there, which are like the Druids for Albion. And then when the Old Ones ended up having to leave because their portals were failing, the Truthsayers of Albion created the Ogham Stones, or started utilizing the Ogham Stones to try and quell the forces of chaos, or the energies of chaos, by channeling them into the land of Albion and taking them away from the rest of the world. This caused Albion to be heavily warped by the chaos energy it was absorbing, and also causing the storm clouds to cloud the entire continent. And, you know, several generations, thousands of generations of Truthsayers over time, they kind of forget what the reason why they're doing this for. The culture which was there, which was so great, has declined into just like people who are living amongst the islands. There was also the giants, which are in Albion, which, like giants elsewhere in the Warhammer world, they were a race of very intelligent like sky fortress building people, but over years of inbreeding, ended up losing their intellect and sort of becoming the drunken, stumbling dimwits that they are, which you see was the greenskins. But the Giants of Albion have a good agreement with the Druids of Obion so that they protect the shores of Albion from people from outside. There was a campaign which involved with Games Workshop, which involved a whole bunch of the races actually moving towards Albion, and this is why Nakai the Wanderer starts there, because the Lizardmen actually went there as well and created a temple city there. They also terraformed the land around it. I think the Dark Elves were there, I think the Skaven were there, the Empire was there, Bretonia was there, I think pretty much every faction was there. And they were all going after... This was actually leading up... I think this was because the Truthsayers of Albion were having troubling dreams about the rising of a dark force within Albion. And there was these dark emissaries which were moving around, talking to people about, you know, hey, give us, you know, they were like manipulating people, and it turned out that the whole thing was because of Balakor, a very powerful but in disgrace demon, was gathering his powers in Albion, or gathering his forces in Albion to try and break free from a curse he'd been put on under by the Chaos Gods. And he was trying to regain his physical form before the Everchosen reappeared, which then he'd have to go off and crown as he was this curse. Because he was wanting to be the one to bring the world to ruin, but his ego got in the way, and the Chaos Gods cursed him to always be giving the crown to someone else. But in this process, he was hoping to regain his physical form and break the curse. Which is what the Lead Tower is there, I believe. The Lead Tower was where Balakor's form was coagulating. And that's what the Dark Emissaries are about. The event you can have happen in Warhammer where it's like, you know, oh, you get 300 gold and Chaos Corruption that's related to these events. I'm sorry if I'm saying anything wrong, because I am just going off like one read at the time. So yeah, Albion as a culture is very insular. They have basically nothing to do with people outside of Albion. They're quite content to just live in their island and wreath it in mists so that other factions can't find it. They have difficulty landing. They have essentially the White Cliffs of Dover to dissuade people from landing there even more than normal. So it's going to be hard. They're probably going to be fighting against Norsca quite a bit. We're immune against attrition caused by chaos corruption. Public order is minus 30% penalty due to presence or lack of corruption. Corruption's going to be something which we're going to have to be dealing with quite a lot, from my brief look at the faction. Income from raiding, plus 25%, that's nice. And ambush success chance, plus 25%. The tribes of Albion have repelled the Mark of Chaos, but their lands have not. They have long lived in bitter harmony with the corrupting influence of Chaos. Aggressive infantry-based roster with a variety of cavalry and monstrous units. Okay, well, let's start with it then. Albion is a small wind-swept island off the coast of Norsca in the Great Ocean. It is said that it rains every day in Albion. Albion itself, I believe, is a word which is an ancient word which used to mean Britain or Britannia likes. The islands are shrouded in mist and heavy fog, and the land is predominantly bogs, marshes, and fens. This damp and gloomy environment is inhabited by tribes of woad-wearing humans led by Truthsayers, guardians of the mysterious Ogham Stones, and the inhabited by creatures such as giants and a strange Vermeer. Woad is a dye derived from a plant, which, if you've seen like Braveheart, you know, the Scottish Highlanders wearing woad, and it comes as blue blue dye which they used on their bodies. Ugh. So yes, we're actually going to have some giants in our faction, and I think maybe we have some unique spells. I had a brief look, but I didn't actually play as them at all. I was just having a look over their units and buildings. I'm going to be doing some discussion over their things, as I usually do. I like to go over all the units they have and the buildings they have. We don't have a unique research tree yet, which is fine. I would assume the Norscan tree, which we have, will apply to our unit regardless. Because Norsca does have giants as well as marauders and all that, so I suppose the marauder upgrades would apply to our units. Yes. Nice image there. So actually, unique maps? Or Ogham Stones? Ogham itself, I think Ogham is... Actually, yes, I've read about this. Ogham is the ancient language which was spoken, or no, ancient written language used by the Druids in Britain. In ages past, it was a language of lines, I think, meant to represent different types of trees. And then to carve them onto stones, and it would just be a whole bunch of lines, which would form words. It wasn't a spoken language. I wasn't able to find anything about that, really. The closest, I think, was ancient Gaelic, which was, from my reading, I think was spoken predominantly in Ireland. I'm not too clear. It's not something which I've had to look into beforehand, so I apologize again if I'm wrong. Only a brief reading on Wikipedia can only do so much. So again, I suppose, similar to playing as the halflings, we're going to have to be breaking character for them somewhat and be more interested in raising an army and an empire than the faction would be normally, because Albion is very, as I said, very insular, and they're quite content to just live on Albion and aid the world without the world actually realizing it. That's interesting. A whole bunch of, like, black bits on there. Is that to cover up, like, more chaos detailings on it? It might be. Regardless of the fact that this is, like, all apparently mutated from one poor guy over there or something. I like this. I'd like to be able to do this myself. I'd have to practice it. It's sort of just massive doodles. It might be good if you're doing something like this. You actually have the brush on rotate though, because it's tiling. Anyway, I'm sorry. Come on, load. Yep. There we go. And yay! Okay, so we start here in Conquata, which is actually the settlement created by the Lizardmen. Oh, and apparently Aminar is currently swimming through Albion. Oh dear. Land fish. There's some of the Ogham Stones. The stone circle. We've seen Albion before. A lot of chaos, corruption, and it's constantly enshrouded in rain. Great. Here's our army over here.
Supreme sorceress of
Morrigan, the Phantom Queen. No one knows the exact origin of the mysterious woman called Morrigan. Most inhabitants of Obion believe that she is a goddess of death and war who will sometimes aid her people when they are in great danger. Okay, she's a spellcaster. What's she got? Oh, rather, let's have a look at her stats first. 15 armor, 75 leadership, 43 speed. That's quite high for a foot unit. 40 melee attack, magical. 48 melee defense. Okay, that's pretty good. 320 weapon strength. And 42 charge bonus. Okay. And she's got a 20% ward save base, 15% missile resistance, resilience to swamp, snow, chaos territory, severe gale, storm of Amanar, severe storm, tempest, hurricane, and maelstorms. Okay, I think that's because our province can get affected by sea storms and all that. Encourage, hide in forests, spirit leech, and flock of doom. She's got these abilities. I don't know how to pronounce this. Sendarak? Shaundarak? Sendarak? With a mighty bellow, the spellcaster invokes Corvus the Crowlord, summoning his servants to peck at the foe's eyes. It's going to be like in Gaelic or something, and it's going to be like spelled weird way, like shillelagh. Ugh. Which looks like it's pronounced Shilaga or something like that. Anyway. This is a bound spell, Flock of Doom. We get it at rank 12. Miscast base chance minus 15%. Winds of magic starting amount plus 15. And ward save 10%. Ooh, on top of the 20% she has normally. Okay. Flock of Doom. Strong versus 120 men units or above. Sure, we know what Flock of Doom is. And Dobnak. Sometimes Morrigan is seen riding a giant raven named Dugnak into battle. This raven is the only one of its kind that is known to the inhabitants of Albion. Its origin and mystery only Morrigan herself knows the answer to. Okay, so she gets a great eagle mount, though I assume it's skinned black. With black feathers to better fit into the giant raven. Endless conflict. There is no true peace on Albion. The tribes constantly fight for Mir, the dangers of the blighted island, or each other for the sparse resources. Their warriors don't tire easily. Minus 15% vigor loss reduction. That's pretty nice. Protective charms. Charms doesn't need an E there. The primitive, often savage-looking talismans still seem to have some protective effects. 10% magic resistance. Ooh. Trained reflexes. Experienced warriors of Albion sometimes dodge missiles with seemingly unnatural reflexes gained from the experience of countless skirmishes. 10% more magic missile resistance for 25. Brass lunged. Okay, it's got 2 levels it doesn't need. That's the usual thing. Raven Mother. Ravens will always heed Morrigan's call, even if it costs their lives. Bound spell, Wings of Fate. This seems actually like it's a unique spell. It's a magic missile. Greater armor-piercing explosion damage. Causes moderate magical damage. Strong versus multiple combatants. 250 projectile range. Okay, and we get that at rank 10. Neat. Magical being. Although Morrigan is surrounded by mystery, there is one thing everyone agrees on. She is no mere human. Even deadly wounds cannot hold her down, and ravens follow her willingly into battle. Wound recovery time, -5. Okay. Ability... Murder of Crows. Hex area only acts on targets when in area. Okay, so it's a stationary area. Duration 15 seconds. Targets around self. Affects enemies at range. Active if in melee. Okay. So how's this work? Let's see. Lasts for 15 seconds. It's active if I'm in melee. Targets around self, affects allies at range. So it activates when I go into melee. Okay. 30 meters around itself. Causes damage to combatants. Strong versus multiple combatants. High chance opponents will resist damage. Weak versus a single combatant. -5 melee attack. Okay, so it's just like swarms of crows pecking at people. The birds! I need the biggest seed bell you have. Oh, that's too big. Clouds of ravens fill the sky in anticipation of a feast. Only fools would take to the skies under these circumstances. Constant around self. Target a flying unit. Flying. Affects map wide. Causes damage to combatants. High chance opponents will resist damage. Minus 20% range and speed. Oh. Really? Okay. So, any flying units take constant damage when I have that ability. And they get slower with less range. That's pretty damn good. Omen of Victory. Morrigan's appearance on the battlefield is seen as an omen of imminent victory. In an important battle. Does imminent have an I after the double M? I don't know. Her presence encouraging her allies and filling her enemies with despair. Constant around self, affects enemies of range, disabled if hit points less than 50% base, affects 40 meters, minus 6 leadership, and minus 6 melee defense. Those who stand against Morrigan have a feeling of their impending doom. Some say it is simply a glimpse into their near future. And Omen of War, which is plus 6 melee attack and plus 6 leadership. Constant around self for 40 meters, affects allies. Morrigan's allies fight harder in her presence because they know about the importance of the battle if even the Phantom Queen takes part in it. Okay. Experienced Mage. Minus 10% miscast base chance and Winter Magic Power Reserve plus 15. That have... Yeah, quite a good spellcaster. Morrigan's Handmaidens. Every unbound woman must leave their tribe and wander into the wilderness to pledge themselves to Morrigan. What exactly happens to these women is unknown, but Morrigan is sometimes accompanied by grim female warriors of great skill. Battle speed plus 15% for sword maidens and huntresses. Recruit rank plus 4 for sword maidens and huntresses. Passive ability Berserker, Orcish Precision for huntresses, and ward save plus 20% for sword maidens and huntresses. Oh, that's pretty damn good. Goddess Unleashed. No one knows the full extent of her powers, but all agree it may be better not to see her unleash it. Cooldown minus 20% to all spells. Winter magic cost minus 2 for all spells. All characters. Ooh. Okay. Ability, Goddess of Ravens, and replaces Murder of Crows. I don't have a description of that. Constant around self for 60 meters. Minus 8 melee attack. Blinded also. Minus 24 melee defense and minus 24 melee attack and minus 30 accuracy. 8. Okay, so that's an upgraded, this one, Murder of Crows. Yeah. Actually, hang on. This one does damage and lowers the melee attack. This one seems to get rid of the damage over time and just changes it to lowering the stats and blinding the units. Okay. Her spell. Spirit Leech, Wild Heart, so we have a mixture of the Law of Beasts and the Law of Death. Block of Doom, the Enfeebling Foe. Oh, also Law of Shadows. Doom and Darkness. Yeah, that's Law of Death. Evasion. Pit of Shades, Transformation of Cadon. Okay, so we can summon a Manticore. That's pretty cool. Earthing, Magical Reserves, Arcane Conduit. Inspiring Presence. Yep, Warrior Culture. Every able member of the tribes of Albion is trained in the use of at least one weapon to be able to fend off their daily dangers of the Blighted Lands. Melee defense plus 6, melee attack plus 10. War Leaders, Guardians. Only the best and most accomplished warriors may join the ranks of the Hearthguard and become the personal guards of chieftains and war leaders. Melee defense plus 10, melee attack plus 6 for Hearthguard. Monsters of the Misty Isle. Many deadly abominations lure in the mists which shroud Albion, ready to defend it from any intruders. I think lure should be lurk. Melee defense plus 8 for fen beasts, giants, half giants, and fen hulks. Melee attack plus 8 for those as well. Savage warriors. Primitive they may be, but their unrivaled wildness and savage might easily makes up for the lack of refinement. Weapon strength plus 12% for Woad Raiders, Druid Neophytes, and Albion Sword Maidens. And also plus 8 for melee attack. Death from afar. The hunt is part of the daily life of most inhabitants of Albion, and the hunters joining the armies have steady arms and good eyes, sharpened by years of experience. Ammunition plus 20% for Stone Throwers, Youngbloods, Huntresses, and Aobar Horse Warriors, Javelins. Also increase of missile damage plus 12%. Fast Riders that hit before the enemy can defend themselves, be gone before they get hit back. Battle speed plus 12% for hunting dogs, Aobar horse warriors, Albion chariots and centaurs, and also charge bonus. Yeah, we're getting to see a few of the units which are actually going to have to look forward to. Rally and deadly hunters, reload speed, missile damage, and missile resistance. Charge bonus, melee attack, and weapon strength. I like these ones, which improve units at rank 7 or above because it encourages you to keep units around. Merciless barbarians, to make use of these. Charge bonus plus 12, melee attack plus 5, weapon strength plus 12%. Champions of Albion. Are these different descriptions up there? I wasn't reading them. The best way to kill a foe is a well-aimed arrow or boulder, killing them before they even know what happened. Druids with magical powers and mystical beasts belong to the most feared members of any Albion warband, and rightly so. With a combination of speed, agility, and brutal savagery, the defenders of Albion often seem more like a wave of flesh and steel, breaking their enemies into charge and washing them away in a tide of blood. Hardened but in many battles against constant threats emerging from the bogs of the island, these veterans have superior skills compared to inexperienced troops. Okay. And Warcry. Okay. Increases melee defense, melee attack, and leadership. For 18 seconds. Pardon me. Ugh. And I believe the, let's see. The blue tree is probably just the same as usual. Draftmaster, Lightning Strike, Logistician. Experienced Ambusher, Premonition, and Renowned and Feared. Yep, that's the same. Okay. What's her special ability here? Raven Queen. Wherever Morrigan goes, clouds of her loyal ravens follow, for they know a feast awaits them. Actually, hang on. Is that the, No. Murder of Crows. Latest Murder of Crows. Okay, never mind. Enemy leadership, -6. Local enemy armies. Campaign movement range, plus 15%. Income from post-battle loot, plus 20%. All units in army. Okay, that's neat. Does it have to be all units in army? Wouldn't that just be the, for, Lord's army? Because that bonus would only apply to Morrigan, wouldn't it? I don't think the game tracks individual units in the army for post-battle loot. Or does it? Does it, like, use how many units you have in the army to determine how much money you get after the end of a battle? I don't know how it generates that, the after-battle loot. I always thought it was based on how many enemies you kill. Anyway, we have some of the unique units. Albion Sword Maidens. It is traditional in Albion society for females to hold honorary warrior positions, and they are as fierce and respected as their male counterparts. It's a unit of 60, 280 upkeep. 5 armor, 70 leadership, 44 speed, 38 melee attack, 30 melee defense, weapon strength 28 with arm piercing of 8 and bonus versus infantry 10, and 28 charge bonus. They also have physical resistance 25%, resilience, sure, Hide Forest, War Fury 1, this and this one here actually tie into each other. So, while our leadership is above 50%, we get plus 6 melee attack, plus 8% charge bonus, and plus 10% weapon damage. Albion warriors are known for their fickle nature in fights. As long as they believe in themselves, it should be belief, not believe. So, yeah, in themselves as unbroken, they attack with savage, unrelenting bravery. So, while things are going good, we get these bonuses. Albion's warriors are known for their moody nature in fights. When facing a superior foe or finding themselves on the losing side of a battle, they can lose heart quickly. If we're losing melee combat, we get minus 15 leadership. It's interesting that it's losing melee combat and not leadership is lower, disabled if leadership is higher than 50%. But maybe that makes more sense, because then if it's lower than 50%, we lose the War Fury, but we don't necessarily gain this. This is only if you're losing the combat. Minus 15 leadership, though, is quite a heavy penalty. But it'll be interesting to see what it's like. Also, Woad Paint. Woad Paint is applied by Druids. It uses the excess magic of the area to protect the warriors, whose skin is painted with it. The stronger the winds of magic in an area, the more effective the paint will be. Ooh, okay, interesting. If my matter is less than 50%, we don't get the plus 15% physical resistance. Okay. That's going to be interesting. So if we use all of our magic, we lose the effects of Woad. Devastating Charge. Constant. Hit points less than 50% base, it's disabled. Plus 50% charge bonus and plus 25% charge speed. As long as this unit isn't injured too much, they are able to savagely charge their enemies with devastating effect. Cool. Okay. What are they? Woad Paint, Devastating Charge, and Anti-Infantry. Cool. Albion Warband. This is our basic infantry, I believe. For the fierce barbarians of Albion, war is an integral part of life. Every able man knows how to fight and will defend his homeland in times of peril. A unit of 90 with 112 upkeep. Armor is 15 with a bronze shield. 60 leadership. 35 speed. 32 melee attack. 22 melee defense. 28 weapon strength. And 21 charge bonus. And they have the same War Fury 1 and 2. And nothing else. They don't have any physical resistance or anything like that. Oh, they don't even have Woad. No, they don't. Okay. Albion Warband Spears. 15 armor, 60 leadership, 35 speed, 20 melee attack, 34 melee defense, 25 weapon strength with 20 weapon damage, 5 piercing, and 15 bonus versus large, and 8 charge bonus. Okay. Youngbloodz, Javelin Infantry. Youngbloodz are apprentice warriors, too inexperienced to be part of a regular warband. They hurl javelins at their opponents to gain battle experience and will avoid the danger of melee as well as they can. 15 armor, 75 in the squad, 50 leadership, so that's a bit lower still. Speed, 35, melee attack is 18, melee defense is 16, 28 weapon strength. Armor piercing is 7 in melee, that's not too bad. Charge bonus 8, ammunition is 14, 90 range, 30 missile damage, and bonus versus large of 15. Okay, okay. So they're like the hunters for the Norskins. Except they're probably worse in melee than them. And the Albion Giant. The legendary Giants of Albion were the last gift of the Old Ones to the inhabitants of Albion. Like all giants, they are but a shadow of their ancestors' glory, however, they may have fallen as low as their kin outside of Albion yet. That needs rewording there. Let's see. Like all giants, they are but a shadow of their ancestors' glory. How would you want to say it? Perhaps they haven't fallen as far as low as their kin outside of Albion yet. Anyway, I think that needs a bit more wording. 400 upkeep, 30 armor, 100 leadership. That's quite high. That's like higher than any of my other units. It's a little odd for a giant, but maybe they're too stupid to realize to run. They are very large, so they wouldn't necessarily be panicked by smaller troops. 46 speed, 65 melee attack, 35 melee defense, 600 weapon strength, 450 of that's armor piercing, 40 charge bonus. I don't know how similar this is to the basic giant. 25 physical resistance. Causes terror. Woad paint also. So he gets actually 40 physical resistance. While our mana is higher than 50%. That's pretty nice. Okay. On to buildings. So, we don't have that many buildings to go through. We have the basic stronghold here, which has a garrison on it. Ooh. Max garrison has a giant in it. Woad Raiders. Hearthguard. Woad Raiders. I'm just thinking of the Age of Empires 2 unit now. Sparring field. Albion Warband and Spears. Warriors Hall gets us Albion Warband and Woad Raiders. Oh, Albion Warband with great weapons. Cool. And Woad Raiders. In battle, Woad Raiders fight with wild abandon, putting all their trust into the protection granted by their magical the magical patterns covering their body. No armor, but they have 25% physical resistance, as well as plus 15% more, while mana is higher than 50%. Okay, so they actually, they're not actually stripped of their physical resistance when you get lower than 50% mana. It's just it gets a little weaker. Frenzy, they also have the War Fury 1 and 2. Right. What do they count as? Woad Paint and Frenzy. Okay. Not necessarily Berserker, like the Norscan ones. Are they armed with dual axes? 38 weapon strength. With 6 armor piercing. No bonus versus infantry? Okay. I mean, it's not a problem. It's just figuring it out. Okay. Chieftain, hero. We get the Obion sword maidens there. Hearthguard with halberds. Hearthguard are the military aristocracy of Albion. They are professional warriors forming the hardcore of Albion armies and serve as bodyguards for chieftains and warlord. Okay, they have 85 armor, 75 leadership, 28 speed. I suppose these are like the Marauder champions. 35 weapons, 36 weapon strength, 12 weapon damage, 24 armor piercing, and bonus versus large is 22. 14 charge. Oh, they also get War Fury, but they don't get the second War Fury. So they don't have. You don't have to worry about their leadership dipping as much as you have to the other ones, or at all. They don't have Woad either. Have charge defense versus large. Okay, cool. I suppose because they're more disciplined, they're not going to run. Hearthguard with great weapons. Yep. And Hearthguard with swords. Okay, cool. Oh, also they have immune to psychology. That's nice. Did these have... Do the Albion Sword Maidens have immune to psychology? No. Okay. What's this? This is our... Cavalry Tree. We have Shilings. Barely more than the grassy field where the horses of the tribe are kept. Aeon Bar Horse Warriors, Javelins, and Bloodhounds. Aeon Bar Horse Warriors. Only wealthier warriors can afford horses in Albion. This fact makes these warriors often insufferably arrogant. Nevertheless, they are excellent light cavalry. 92 speed. Okay, alright, melee stats. 33 missile damage. Why is it lower a little bit there? Okay, and they have the War Fury 1 and 2. And they can fire while moving. Their missile damage is just armor piercing. Okay. They throw javelins, right. Albion Chariot. Chariots are popular among the Albion warrior nobility, and chariot races are a popular pastime on the plains. Right. Ooh, they have devastating charge also. 100 armor, 70 leadership, 82 speed. That's pretty fast. 26 melee attack, 22 melee defense, 45 weapon strength with piercing and armor piercing and bonus versus infantry. 68 charge bonus. And Aeon Bar Horse Warriors. This is shock cavalry. They have the same armor as the javelins. 22-24. 16-20. Okay. So they've got higher stats for melee. 40 charge bonus. 26. Yep, okay. 130, 130. Oh, they have the same upkeep as the Javelin ones. And they have a bronze shield. And centaurs. Centaurs roam the plains of Albion. They're proud and independent, but in times of peril, they will join forces with the clans. 250, 45. I suppose these are like centaurs. 30 armor, leadership 60, 84 speed, 30 melee attack and defense, 30 weapon strength. A lot of armor piercing. Charge bonus 42. They have woad paint also. And that, okay, cool. But they don't have the drunkenness, which the centaurs have, so they don't have the perfect vigor while they're winning, which is... I do like for the centaurs. It just means you can charge them all over the place. As long as they're winning. Hall of Heroes. I mean, you know, they're not centaurs, so... sense that they have it. Hall of Heroes. Okay. Increases to heroes and income from raiding and all that. Shrine of Danu. Danu, the Earth Mother, is the most worshipped goddess of the people of Albion. Shrines in her honor can be found in many villages around the island. Casualty replenishment rate plus 10%. Untainted plus 6, research rate plus 2%. Allows recruitment of Albion, sword mages, and druid neophytes. Okay, so we're going to need this building to get our better units. Bigger cities sometimes have temples as sacred sites where the power of the Earth Mother is supposed to be strongest. Untainted plus 10, casualty replenishment plus 15%, research rate plus 5%. Allows recruitment of fen beasts and fen hulks. Okay. Ogham Stones. A single Ogham Stone, Ogham Stone. A single Ogham Stone, binding the winds of magic and corrupting the land for the benefit of the rest of the world. Public order, minus 15% penalty due to presence or lack of corruption. Chaos corruption is plus 2. Untainted in adjacent provinces, minus 4. So, our territory is going to be getting corrupted by chaos. Because of the Ogham Stones, which we're going to be building, because we do get less public order penalty, but we will be probably suffering from, what's it called? Chaos armies popping up from rebellions because of this. Also, just because of the natural corruption in the land. Untainted in adjacent provinces. That's not regions, that's provinces. So, if we take over parts of the Empire, perhaps we'll be able to get the benefit of that a bit more ourselves. I don't know whether other provinces count as adjacent to Albion. Albion's an island, and I think the adjacent provinces are the sea. I don't know whether Norska counts as adjacent. Ogham Stone Circle. A small circle of Ogham Stones, more effective together, together spelt wrong there, than each of them would be on their own. On its own. Winds of Magic Power Reserve, plus 10 for local armies. Public Order, minus 30% due to presence or lack of corruption. Chaos Corruption is plus 4. Untainted in adjacent provinces goes to plus 8. Enables recruitment of Weird Druids. Recruitment capacity plus 1 for Weird Druids. Unlocks recruitment of half-giants, Druid neophytes, requires building Shrine of Danu, and fen beasts. Okay. Weird Druids. What do they have? They are a spellcaster. They have Woad Paint, Evasion, Life Bloom, Far's Protection, Light of Battle, Wissen's Wild Form, Pan's Impenetrable Pelt, Wings of Fate, and Earthblood. Okay, so they're a mixture of Beast, Light, and Earth, and Life magic, as well as the Wings of Fate unique spell. Okay. What's this? Fen Beasts. Fen Beasts are magical constructs made of the foul mud and rotting wood of Albion. They are powered by the shard of an Ogham Stone within their body, and said to be animated by the souls of those who died in the swamps. So we actually get some constructs. I suppose these are like the what's it called? Treekin? For the Wood Elves. 20% missile resistance. Siege attacker. Causes fear. Hide. Ooh, wait, does our giant have wall breaker? No, it doesn't. Okay. Undead. Construct. That's interesting. It's both an undead and a construct? Crumbling regeneration, disintegrating, and magic dependent. Okay. Okay. So, right. Okay, so it's both undead and a construct? But the Tomb Kings, which have constructs, it's always an either or. I don't know what that means. Because constructs are basically the same as undead, except they have... Well, except they wouldn't be affected by Invocation of the Heck, because they're a construct, so you'd need the necrotext to be able to heal them. Other than that, I think they were exactly the same. Maybe they're just both there for flavor, because they feel like they're kind of a mixture. Crumbling, regeneration, okay. Weakness to fire damage. Disintegrating, yeah. And magic dependent. Plus 15 leadership, while mana is higher than 50%. Okay. So we're going to have to be careful about using too much magic. Druid neophytes. Magically gifted apprentices following the path of the Truthsayers. They are sent out in battle to provide support for their fellow clansmen and learn to wield their magic in battle. 45, 130, 15 armor, 35 leadership, 35 speed, 26 melee attack, magical damage, 28 melee defense, 47 weapon strength, which is 9 armor piercing, and 12 charge bonus. Have War Fury 1 and 2, 25% physical resistance, Encourage, Woad Paint, and also Shield of Thorns as a bound spell, which they can cast twice. That's pretty cool. I like Shield of Thorns. And Half-Giants. It's unknown whether or not Half-Giants really bear the blood of giants as they claim, but their strength makes them a welcome addition to each Albion warband either way. It's a squad of 9. 15, 70, 52, 32, 28, 130, with bonus versus large, 25, okay. Siege Attacker, Causes Fear, Hide Forests, and War Fury 1 and 2. Okay, looks like they're a large dwarf. Albion Giant. We've read this, because we have one in our army, don't we? And Fen Hulk. A Fen Hulk is a gargantuan variant of the Fen Beast, a whole Ogham Stone is needed to animate this terrifying construct, which is one of the reasons why Truthsayers rarely summon one. Squad of 1. I think it's a Chaos Spawn, it looks like. 500. 60 armor, 60 leadership, 38 speed, 44 melee attack, 58 melee defense, 470 weapon strength, 320 of which is armor piercing, 24 charge bonus. Magic resistance is 25%. Siege Attacker, your resilience causes terror, undead and construct again with regeneration. Magic dependent. Embodiment of Albion. Fen Hulks are embodiments of the corrupted lands of Albion. Wherever they go, the land is corrupted into muddy bogs which greatly hinder their enemies. Minus 30% speed and also arcane configuration. Command of this ability means never again having to run out of the winds before the fight is won and truly done. Oh, constant improved power recharge rate. Okay, cool. So having one of these in our army would actually make spellcasting a bit easier because we're going to be constantly improving up power recharge. That's nice. I suppose that makes sense if they have an Ogham Stone in them. They'll be drawing the power of chaos into the battlefield, and chaos is magic. Blacksmith allows us to get a stone thrower. Stone throwers are a result of contact between the natives of Albion and outside forces. They are rather poorly constructed, but sufficient for the task they are meant to perform. Also allows recruitment of Warband and Albion Chariot. And Artist Blacksmith. What's this say? A blacksmith is necessary to build the more advanced weapons used by the warriors of Albion. Smithing is not as developed doesn't need two L's there, in Albion as it is in most of the more sophisticated civilizations. However, their craftsmen are still talented and can produce items of great worth and beauty. Income from trade tariffs, plus 5% or regions. Okay. Recruit rank, plus 2 for all units. Local recruitment capacity, plus 2. And Hearthguard, great weapons. Okay. Our walls. Wooden fences, barricades, and palisades. Okay. We get a lot of garrison with our basic settlement. So this is just on top of that. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Nearly done. Tribal meeting. A place for the leaders of the tribe to gather and solve eternal problems, sometimes through ritual combat. +4 public order. And public order +1 in adjacent provinces. And +10 with +2 in adjacent provinces. In adjacent provinces, not adjacent regions. Okay. Right. So that's only mostly useful in the provinces, in the region it's built in, and then it helps adjacent provinces. What's this? Hunter's Cottage. A small, crudely scrambled together hut. Together spelt wrong again. I think crudely is missing a, maybe? I'm not too sure. Which serves as a basis for operation for local hunters. Income generated +150, 4 furs, +20 growth, and Youngbloodz. Hunter Lodge. A sturdy wooden building where hunters prepare for the next expeditions into the dangerous wilds of Albion. 275 income, more furs, more growth. Huntresses. Huntresses perform a dual role for the tribe of Albion, providing both food and range support in times of need. There's no need for a comma here. So, yeah. 68, 138 upkeep. Right. They're ranged 160. And they have armor piercing of 4. Okay. Like a ranged unit. And income generated 400. Per resource production 12 and growth 40. Okay. Right. Now, what are we going to want to do? Chaos Corruption is going to be a problem here because of local population. We're going to want to get rid of the Isle of Wights here under control of the Vanaheimlings. And we're going to need to get rid of this army here. Extra Soul Shredder. Let's go deal with you. You have Chaos Warriors, Chaos Knights, and Chaos Spawn. It's not giving us very good chances. Well.
We have lives to end.
Let us fight our first battle. Let's see whether I can get a hang of this faction. Ugh. So it seems like our sword maidens and all that are going to be better flanky units. Our giant's going to be very nice against these guys. We are hurting a bit for that Chaos Knights. Those would be nice. Kind of like anti-large for that. Well, we have the spears and we have the Youngbloodz. With their javelins. But I'm going to have to get the knights to charge the spears. Also going to get to have a look at the units, actually. I imagine they're using Norscan units as their base model. Looks like it. Nine. Let's see if we can get a bit more than that. It's snowy here. Okay.
Armed and ready.
Really? You sound like the Bretonnian peasants. Okay. Youngbloodz. They don't have a voice. Giant. Can sit here.
Fell sorcery.
Oregon.
Mothers of murder.
And Albion Sword Maidens have the voices of the elves. Okay. So, let's have a look at our units. We have the Albion Warbands. Okay. They look pretty cool. Oh, I like that helmet. I think that's a retextured Chaos helmet. Yep. Their shields. I like the designs on the shields. And their swords are like kind of rusty looking. I suppose because their gear is not that good. Sword Maidens. Okay, right. They're ladies armed with swords and not wearing very much. They're going to be very cold in the snow. Morrigan! She has a magical staff. More clothing on than the sword maidens. She's got a Tomb King sword. I like the staff. Whose staff is that? Is that one of the Druid staff or the Norskins? Anyway. Okay, I also like the purple detailing on it. Is it supposed to be purple? I mean, it's very vivid. Maybe if it had like a, like the warpstone effect. I don't know if you could do that for the purple to make it look like it's moving slightly. Anyway, the giant! Hey, he's got all woad painting all over him. That looks pretty cool. This is the Norscan giant. It's just a slightly different appearance. He's just got a scraggly beard. That looks pretty nice. It's also very pale, but makes sense for a giant, especially with how much rain's supposed to be going on in Albion. Not much sun. The spears. Yep. They're armed with spears, alright. The Youngbloodz. They look all Conan. They don't have beards. Oh, that's fine. But they're Youngbloodz, so they wouldn't have beards yet. And that's all. Okay.
Enchantress.
You and there. Right.
With haste. Moving out.
Shields! Oi!
Oh.
Where you go? Clear out! Quickly, lads!
Giant, go over there.
Sorceress. Bringers of death.
We are ready!
I want you to charge, lads.
Check.
Orders!
True key sorceress.
Battle ready!
Ever onward.
Hey, cast that on him.
Hearken to me.
Hit them.
Sana shot. Quickly now. Nagarothi. Sorceress. Do my bidding.
Shafted!
Pet fatals.
Where am I going to put you, sword maidens? Because I don't want you fighting against the, Uh-oh.
We serve
Uh-oh.
the king!
Their leadership's broken. That's not good.
Supreme.
Oh, jeez, you just took a nasty hit.
Follow me. I summon thee. Name.
Oh, great. You've fled as well. Are we going to have to, like, do this again? Hit the Chaos Knights.
Foul sorcery.
Well, you rallied. The other guys broke, though. And sword maidens are fleeing. Oh.
Come to me.
Come on. Chuck spears at them. We just need to kill the... Oh, jeez.
To serve and obey! Clearance!
Supreme sorceress. Shifting.
Oof.
Seeress. Spreading terror. Advancing. Limitless power.
I'd like you lot to flee from the Chaos Knights. Bonk. Just beat up those, Oh, you're fleeing as well.
Spare man and ours!
Supreme sorceress! Move setting forth!
Okay. Another.
Destruction! Unfill them!
Stop fleeing! Bonk. Okay.
Or traveling! Leave now!
Oh, great. Our giant's holding on, though. That lad's just too big to be easily broke.
Ready for orders!
No. Attack him. Don't let him catch you.
Run, men!
They're wavering, but they're not broke. They're not shattered.
Beyond compare!
Dark!
Dark power!
Over here.
God help us!
Supreme
Well, you shattered.
sorceress!
Get over here.
Fell sorceress! Hearken to me!
Oh, oh, oh. I think the knights have shattered.
Enchantress! Carnage!
Come on. Beat up enough of those knights to be able to break them. Come on. Chuck some spears at the general.
Supreme sorceress!
Gonna
Seeking entertainment!
win by the skin of our teeth, are we?
Battle calls!
Maybe not.
Forward, Brookie!
Run away! Broken! Come on, you big lad! Smack him a few more times.
Supreme sorceress!
How much do I need for a spirit leech? 8. Come on, hit him. Oh, oh, oh! Hey! Oh, how about that? Just held on. That's a lot tougher than I thought it would be. Our units fleeing easily is a problem. Close victory, yeah. Ugh. Don't know if we'll be able to capitalize on that victory. Basically just a Pyrrhic victory. Our giant certainly did the heavy lifting, especially with their high leadership. 100 leadership. That's very good. None of our other units has that. I don't think even our Lord, Legendary Lord, has 100 leadership. Hmm. 106 kills for their cavalry. I had no good answer for their cavalry. Even our javelin throwers were not the best. It's them. And do our sword maidens, I don't think they actually have Ooh. These are going to have to get changed, actually. The words here, sacrifice captives, because it mentions chaos gods there. And yes, there. Yep. So these are going to have to get worked. Yeah, sacrifice them.
Unbridled power! Hecate, guide me!
Can I defeat
Supreme
that army?
sorceress.
They don't have any cavalry left, so...
We have lives to end!
Yep. Oh, we lost our sword maidens. Eh, whatever. We'll get some more.
Raw power.
Okay.
Mother
Ooh,
of the
Armor of
Dark
Fortune.
World.
Plus 6 armor, plus 8 ward save, and plus 8% physical resistance. Nice. Okay, I am going to get... Inspiring Presence. And... Endless Conflict.
Well,
And then... move you over here, ready to take Citadel of Lead. So, Conquata. I am going to... get... Hunter's Cottage. And... Warrior's Hall. Also, our research tree. I'm gonna get this. I'm assuming these are going to affect us. And we'll end turn. The first turn.
bloody victory.
It was a pretty good victory. Get used to the rain! It always rains in Obion. Yes, I'm gonna also have to check the territories which we have available to us to conquer. Which what's it called? Which regions count as habitable for us? So we have, and that's going to need changing. Temperate, Frozen, and Temperate Island. Unpleasant is Wasteland, Chaotic Wasteland, Savannah, and Mountain. And uninhabitable is Ocean, Desert, Magical Forest, and Jungle. Okay. About normal. Is this... It's actually suitable climate. Is this, I can't remember whether I have a mod which changes this so that it's tundra rather than chaos wastes. Sure, get Hunter's Lodge
Of the Dark
and
Continent.
take this Citadel of Lead. Ooh! Hold up. Maybe not. Cancel move. Oh, hello, that's held by the Servants of Fimorneed. Right, the Familiars start there. And they've got a large garrison. Lots of Boglars, Fim Guards, River Trolls, Fen Beasts, Norscan Ice Trolls, Fimir Shirls. We can't deal with that right now.
What is your dark?
We'll have to go back to Conquata. Certainly not with our army as it is. Get that. Actually, if we're going up against Fimir, we're going to need more spears. We're gonna have to make do with the one settlement we have. I thought that was an easy attack the, you know, attack the army and claim the empty settlement, but no.
All-powerful sorceress.
Okay. Go into Conquata.
Servant.
Isle of Wights. That's more likely to be takeable by us. It has Marauder Champions, Marauder Spearmen, Marauders, and Marauder Hunters.
Chosen of his
Still going to need a bigger warband for that. Woad Raiders. And we can't get the Great Weapons. Get that and that. Okay, and we'll be able to get some Hunters next turn as well. Hey, it stopped raining. Blasphemy. Look at those turn times. Okay, we got war tools. Minus 10% for Marauder recruitment.
sorceress of Grot.
I can't remember what the recruitment cost was last time. So, if it's affecting it or not, I can't tell. Huntresses. Ranged units. They're not bad melee combatants. Get 3 of them. Just fleshing out our armies, and we'll deal with those Norskans to the south of us.
Who seeks me?
Okay. Oh look, there's storms up there. They done anything there? Oh, they have built other settlements. Makeshift hound pit. They get Norscan warhounds, kidnappers den, Dirach temple. Oh great, they're going to be causing chaos corruption. Get out of here.
You seek.
Go to here.
Limitless power. I will rest.
Corruption's going to be such a problem. We do have other warlords we can get also. Tristan McGill, Buchanan Tulach, Darren Sudrach. We actually have spellcasters. War leaders are the strongest and fiercest warriors of Albion. They usually have command over the warbands of several tribes and clans and will be called upon whenever the people of Albion have to wage war on a larger scale. Okay. I said like the war chief, the warlords of the Norskans. Interesting, they have War Fury too, whereas the Hearthguard don't. I thought that was a thingy where the units higher up don't actually suffer from this. But, maybe the Hearthguard have oaths or something they take which they not affected by it. Or they, you know, to stay where others would flee. Truthsayer beasts. The first Truthsayers were pupils of the Old Ones themselves. Much of the knowledge they were taught has been lost over the ages, though, but even so, Truthsayers still wield strong magical powers. Okay, Priest of the Horned God. The Druids are not only mages, but also religious leaders. This one follows Kanon, the god of the hunt. Hunter's Snare cannot move. Okay. Beasts. Priest of the Earth Mother. This is a Truthsayers. Okay. A unique lore. The Druids are not only mages. This one follows Danu, goddess of the earth. Casualty replacement rate plus 10%. Intellect. Priest of the Sun God. This one follows Lug, the goddess sun. Enables flaming attacks and bound spell fireball. Nice. Light, life, and life. Trini and Mac Array. So, do we have Truthsayers lore? Lore of Truthsayers. Oh, I don't actually get to see what it is. Okay. I kind of want to recruit him just to see what it is. Sure. Okay. What have you got? Albion Warhorse. Endless Conflict, Protective Charms. Yep. Teachings of the Old Ones. Miscast base chance minus 30%. The first Truthsayers have been taught by the Old Ones themselves. Precious little is left of these original teachings, but even a fraction of this magical knowledge is still potent. Oral tradition. Truthsayers don't write down their knowledge. The secrets are passed from the master's mouth to the pupil's ear, which introduces mistakes and misunderstandings. This causes the magic of the Truthsayers to be less reliable, but some changes introduced this way have unexpected beneficial side effects. Okay, miscast base chance plus 10%, plus winds of magic power reserve plus 30. Okay. Terrors from the swamp. Truthsayers have mastered the ability to call even more terrifying constructs of rotten wood, mud, and bones from the swamps to bolster their ranks. That gives ward save plus 10% for Fen Beasts and Fen Hawks. Anti-infantry for Fen Beasts and Fen Hawks, and recruitment rank plus 4. Ancient allies. It is said that the giants of Albion were the last gifts of the Old Ones to the Truthsayers. Both the tribes and the giants have long since forgotten the truth about the Old Ones, but the alliance still holds strong. Charge bonus plus 20% for giants and half giants. Recruitment rank plus 4 for giants and half giants, and battle speed plus 20%. Nice. Wings of Fate. That's a magic missile when he gets the overcast version of it. Mists of Albion. While casting, plus 20% missile resistance. That's nice. Blessings of Valor. Or Blessing of Valor. The mage calls upon the god of hunting and battle to grant his allies additional strength and skill. Added effect. Let's see. Gives plus 25% weapon damage, plus 26 weapon melee attack, and also can cause fear. Boon of Courage. The voice of the Truthsayer is heard in the minds of his warriors, invoking their sense of honor and giving them unwavering hope even in the most desperate of situations. Ooh, makes the unit unbreakable. Okay, cool. Light of Protection. Barrier of shimmering light protects the warriors from magic and flame alike. Plus 45% flame resistant. Okay. That's interesting. It gives flame resistance. It says magic, so no magic protection? I mean, it doesn't need to. Just flame resistance. That's interesting. Very specific. Fire attacks is something you don't tend to come across too much. I mean, units are weaker to magic. Aren't weaker to fire. It's interesting, though. I haven't seen a spell like that. Gift of Life. Dying warriors are granted a second chance as the spell of the Truthsayer mends their deadly wounds and allows them to return to battle. Regeneration. Affects allies in range, max 4. Added area effect. Resurrects dead combatants. What? Oh, really? We can resurrect our units with Gift of Life. Okay. That's a bit weird, but, you know, sure. It's resurrecting them. Cool. Replenishes hit points and combatants, heals injured before resurrecting. I wonder, I hope they come back looking alright, because I seem to remember sometimes units could come back without heads and all that if they had them cut off. Voice of Command. The booming voice of the Truthsayer fills the mind of an enemy. I mean, I've seen images of units losing their heads and wandering around without their heads and all that, or without their torso because they were destroyed. But I don't know the exact cause for that. The booming voice of the Truthsayer fills the mind of an enemy, robbing them of the concentration necessary to operate ranged weapons. Added effect area. Plus 30 armor, minus 55% speed, minus 100% range. Okay. So that would be good to cast on the Sword Maidens to give them some armor, because they're not... But it also lowers their speed a lot, and you can't cast it on ranged units, because then they can't use their ranged spells, or their ranged abilities. Okay, that's interesting. Earthing, Magical Reserves, Arcane Conduit. This looks the same to be for Morrigan. Yep, and Warcry, and the Blue Tree, I assume, is the same. Yep. Okay. Sure. Everything else is fine. Some of his abilities seem really nice. 184. Let's get another warband. And then we'll move on the Isle of Wights. And at least claim part of Albion back for ourselves. Kick these Norskans out of Albion. And then we're going to have to get rid of those Famia. I want to own Albion in its entirety. No squatters. It disappeared. Oh, great. Skaven is stealing people. Go away, Skaven!
Black Arms. Calling the winds.
Okay, just sit here.
Searching. Prepare my camp.
And camp again. Oh, you don't actually come up with a encampment little thingy around you. Okay.
The trees tell me my
Cool. Where's our inhabitable locations? Let's just have a look. Climate suitability. Quite a lot of places. Ulthuan, Nagarond, Norska, at least this coast of Norska. The higher up is unpleasant. The Empire, Bretonia, yeah. Okay. So, what's other factions' relations with us? Let's see. Oh, that's actually raised. Your prejudice is -5. Leoness, they have no strong feelings to us one way or the other. Ulthuan apparently has, or the Elves apparently have an affinity for us. Okay, fine. I believe it was mentioned in the lore bits that the High Elves do know that Albion speak the truth. They're saying like the old ones did things here and we help protect the world from chaos. So the High Elves at least know a little bit about that. Or are willing to believe that. Whereas the Empire and all that, I believe, just sort of see Albion as a mysterious place with a lot of loot in it for them to go to get. Isle of Wights! Okay, we can deal with that. I hope. Declare war. And corn will reap your souls! Yeah. Sure. Let's play this battle, just so that I can get a hang over our units again, and have a look at the new ones we have. Oh great, swamps. It might be nice if our units had aquatic, if they're so used to moving around in swamps and all that. I mean, they are human though, they're not like fish people. That would be an interesting faction for people to make. To have the, what are they called? Ideneth, is it? From Age of Sigmar, the sea elves. You wouldn't be able to do a lot for it though, because they ride sharks in the air and that. The models look really nice though. They also have like soulless elves along with them, because I believe they were like a failed attempt to bring the elves back after they were devoured by Slaanesh or something. Anyway. It's interesting these units are different. Like, these ones are in tight formation and these ones in scattered formation. I mean, you know, it's a warband. Sure. If it was like one of the, if it was one of the historical Total War games, you'd be able to have them with a like a shield wall ability or like a brace where you click it and they go from this formation into this one, but Warhammer 2 doesn't have that.
And ready. We are ready.
Okay. And the Youngbloodz over there. The giant is still a bit injured. And Morrigan. And the Huntresses. Ooh, they're actually in loose formation.
Children of Athelloren.
Okay.
Foul sorceries.
You and you. So, what do the Woad Raiders look like? Well, they look like berserkers. It's interesting they don't have Berserk. They have Frenzy, but they don't have Berserk, which the Norscan ones have. So they're not as good. They also have no armor, but they also have Woad Paint, so they have 25% physical resistance, which is nothing to sneeze at. Huntresses. They look pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know about like these and that. I mean, it kind of looks a bit too elven. I know then otherwise you'd probably just be going with a whole bunch of ones with the same heads or something. But Oh, and they have pointy ears too. Ignore the pointy ears. They're Albions. They're humans. They're not elves.
Supreme
Okay, move forward, and we'll deal with these
follow me.
Norskins.
Dauntless as rain. Swift of foot.
Wah. It's interesting that War Fury gives them bonuses in melee, but it doesn't give them bonuses at ranged. I mean, I say interesting. It makes sense. Pew! Wow, that was a lot of damage. They don't have shields though, and they're going up against 3 units.
This was not meant to be.
Pew! Yeah, we like half their health with that one volley. Pick. A few straggling arrows coming in. Wow, yeah, okay. We cut their numbers in half.
Searching. Onward.
Charge!
By power. Defenders of Athel
Oh,
Loren.
they fire while moving?
Athel Loren.
Oh, they do.
We are tireless.
Pretty nice.
Summoning destruction.
Where's that giant? There he is. The giants will really help. Or this giant will really help. We're gonna have to give him a name. I don't have a name for him though.
Sorcerers. Your orders.
Shoot!
Stand your ground.
Pew!
Our masters desert us. We'll be back.
Pew 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 pew.
Immediately.
Ready. Righteous fury.
Supreme sorcerers.
Righteous Fury.
For the eternal realms. Straight
Get up
ahead.
there, hunters. Huntresses.
Supreme sorcerers.
Chuck a few javelins at them. Tick, tick, tick. Tick, tick, tick. They'll be devoured. They'll be swallowed up by the lakes or swamps.
Let's get going.
Swamps would make more sense than lakes.
Straight away.
Spearmen at arms.
Okay.
Quick now.
It's still weird hearing the Bretonian voices, but it makes sense because the accent is based off like what's it called? Oh, look at him! Roar! Oh, he's got an arrow in his head. Poor guy. He's just splashing around in the water. I actually have a giant. Over there. With all my models. Oh, it's one of the old metal ones. It's not one of the newer... Not one of the plastic ones they made. So he's quite small compared to the other giants. But got a big jawbone head, and he's got a... His club is a stick with a tombstone stuck in it. Is it a tombstone actually, or is it a mile counter or something? I can't see. I made patches of fur for him and a rat tail because he was part of my Skaven army. Rats at his feet, and he had a little rat on his shoulder which was whispering into his ear. Path of the Beast Flames. Oh! Ooh, what's this? Fencer's blades. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Especially because, considering she's sort of got bonuses, which makes it seem like she's meant to get into combat. So, let us just occupy.
Raw power.
And you can get tribal settlement. Do we get anything different here? No. Okay, garrison. Good. Yay. Hearthguard have, encourage? No, they don't. Okay.
Supreme sorceress of grass.
I'm going to get on you. Warrior culture. Actually, no. Brass lung.
Diaran whispers.
Okay, end turn. What should I call the... Have a look. I've got an idea here for a name, but I just have to find it to see if I can see whether I spelled it correctly. Where is it? Nah, whatever. I'm gonna have to think of it. Anyway. So, a lot of whites has been taken.
Feel
We
my
didn't do too badly in that battle, actually. It was just against chaos. Their heavy armor is going to be a problem for us. We don't really have armor piercing too much. These don't have that much armor piercing. They got 6.
spooky seeress.
Okay. Yeah, we're still getting public order issues here. 2 turns. Okay. I don't want to move over here. No, we need to consolidate
All powerful.
Albion first. So that we're not suffering the penalties. Ooh, what was this? Torgvan declared war on Carcassonne, and we found a Great Points Cutlass. Oh, they're all the way over there. Oh, we can see quite a lot actually, because the Great Ocean, Albion, is connected to this. So that gives us a lot of sight. And we can see parts of Ulthuan, Bretonia. So on. There's Moussalon. Can we see one of those land-based thingies around? There's one. Point of interest. Go. One of the ones which appear on land. That blends in pretty well. It's just a little chest with some ruins around it. Neat. Should be an interesting mod. It will, you know, encourage you to sort of roam around the countryside to find things, and playing as a horde army, you'd be able to get income based off that. Oh, hello. Yeah, sure. A bit of extra money. Good. Okay, keep going. Okay, plus 10% weapon strength for Marauders.
What brings you here?
Would that help us?
Chosen of Hecate.
I think it has. We've got a little bit of green on there. So, actually, let's see.
Orders.
I recruit 20. Oh wait, yeah, it affects all of them, doesn't it? Oh, it's not just my lord. What spells do you have normally?
Jade Wizard.
Wings of Fate and Blessing of Valor. Okay.
What do you seek? Ever onward.
Hey, Mia.
Enchantress.
Oh gee. Get that.
Be still.
Yep. Okay. That garrison is scary because Famia are monstrous creatures and they have armor as well. And armor sundering. Which isn't that bad for us because we're not wearing too much armor, so, you know, can't sunder what's not there. Really? Non-aggression pack? No. You want me to pay for it? Thank you. Ah! Yeah. Ah! Be angry. We have to get all these chaos pustules off our land. And you got strict. Mission issued. Raid the following region. Pack Ice Bay. For 800. No. It's all the way over there. We don't get chaos corruption attrition though, so that's nice. Okay. Hey, Famia. Get out of our stinking land. Rally the Fim. We must fight to endure.
Guided by authority. Scream for me.
Ooh, what do they got? Boglars. Boglars made a pact with the Cyclopean creatures, and now they fight side to side. Side to by side. Why you would make deals with such puny creatures is a mystery. Fim guards of the Fim warrior caste, only proven veterans may be elevated to guarding the upper echelons of society. River trolls, fen beasts, they get fen beasts as well. Norscan ice trolls, Fimir shills. Shills are the slave caste of the Fimir, and whilst not great warriors, like the Fim, they are still a fearsome foe.
The weak.
Okay, in circle. We'll bring our mage up here as well, because he gives a bit of a bonus.
Please tell me much.
I'm sure.
The babbling brook with
I'm glad that you consulted a brook.
Setting forth.
There's war calls, and we're going to have to fight against the Fimir. The Boglars are basically like snotlings, I think. They're from the mist, they're expendable, there's a lot of them, their stats are pretty terrible. They have no armor, there's a lot of them. Fim guards. Oh, they have magical attacks. And sundered armor. Minus 30 armor, jeez.
I will destroy
Even
them.
if we had the spell which gives our units 30 armor, that would just remove it. Oh, it's this map again. Okay. Well, we're going to be fighting uphill. I think Fimir shirls have expendable as well because they're basically slaves. The trolls are good, nasty as well. Gonna be able to have a look at their units though. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so spears. Go there. You go there. We're gonna have to keep you behind, I think, because I don't want you to take a charge from the Fimir.
Orders.
Hunters up there, huntresses up there, actually. Youngbloods. Youngbloods, you hide in that forest, and these ones hide over here. I think that's too narrow for them to hide in. Yep. Just hide there.
Deepwood host.
You hide there. Giant! You're gonna help. And Morgan.
Supreme sorceress.
Okay. And also our mage. Where are you, mage? There you are. Okay, let's have a look at these Familiar. So this is the Familiar Shills. They are armed with bone clubs. Okay, that's appropriate. They don't even have the armor for their back. They got 50 armor though, but I suppose that's natural scaly skin. Look at that for me. I do like to look at them. At the purple hand. That might have to be looked at because that's for the spellcasters, I think. Ice trolls. Seen those playing as trolls. The really nice looking river trolls. Still really like the texture work done on those. Very nice. Fimgard, yeah, see, they don't have the purple hand. It's because I believe these are using the model which is, these are using the model which is used for the Familiar spellcasters. They have the purple hand. I suppose because underneath these they don't have like a proper torso underneath their armor. Looks like they've got a hole in their model there. Yeah. So you can't really remove the armor because they have a hole in their model there. But yeah, the Fimgard, I suppose they are. Yep. They have two-handed maces. Big maces. And some helmets. Yes, Boglars. They're goblins! Blue goblins. Lots of them. We also have God, here's the fen beasts. Ooh. Actually, they look quite a bit different than I thought they would. Now that's interesting. They're using Okay. I like that. So they're using parts of the Chaos Beast, Chaos Spawn model, or the torso and the legs and these arms here. However, they also have the Treekin model in there as well, because I think they both share the same animations. And I like the effect of that. It's like mud with bits of wood sticking out of it. Might be nice if this had the glistening ability. If the mud here had the glistening effect that the river trolls had. That way it would make it look like, you know, wet mud rather than just sort of a mass. The textures could possibly be a bit better. But no, I'd like the look of that. And the faces too, how they're done. Makes them look very sort of hollow and constructy. There's a few bones and so on the sticks, which is just part of the treekin. But yeah, that looks cool. Like that. Fimgard. And Boglars. Okay. I wonder what the fen beast looks like then. The larger one.
Your orders?
Your armor piercing is 4. That's really not that good. Fimgard have 110 armor. Oh boy. They don't have shields though. Oh, but they also have okay. They also have missile resistance. 27. They have From the Mists, which increases their missile resistance by 22%. Because the Familiar shroud themselves in mist. All the units actually do, so our missiles aren't going to be doing as much damage as they normally would. Shoot the Boglars! They're weak, and there's just a lot of them, and we can get rid of them easily. F-What? Watch it! Yeah.
Aim! Release! Immediately!
Oh, we're shooting the fen beasts there. What are their missile resistance? 25. Okay. I feel like they should have higher, just because they're made up of mud. You know, you shoot mud, it just go and it would stick in them. The sound effect's very important.
Eager and ready!
Sage wizard.
What's this spell look like? Pew! Ah, just chuck some ravens at them.
Infantry!
I like that. Eat raven! Or crow. Yeah, we're forcing them to eat crow. Haha.
Shields high. Infantry.
Okay. Boglars.
Children of Athel Lauren!
Oh no! You got caught!
Swiftly! Ready for orders!
Oh, these are unbreakable too. Oh boy.
Let the woods awaken.
Let's have a look at this. Where's some of the Familiar attacking our guys? We're not doing too badly against them. Berserkers have charged through. Go around here. You're needed over here too, you guys. You can charge in. There's a fen beast attacking us. I thought they were supposed to be allies. Where's it good? Scene. All retreating. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's a little chaotic. Jar! Smack him! Okay, let's continue. Are they retreating? Oh no, they're just going for a cycle charge.
Orders. For the king. For the king.
Come to me!
Clear out.
Uh-oh. Shoot those river trolls!
Karnos, bless us!
Tyrant falls.
Give them more crows to eat! Pew! Oh, interesting! The missiles actually fly up and then go back down again. That's pretty cool. Oh, they're crumbling.
Feel life go.
Awaiting orders!
No, huntresses.
Awaiting orders!
Die, fiends.
Oh, it didn't go up then. Oh,
Dark sorcerer!
okay. Interesting that it changes like that. Where's my huntresses?
Straight away!
Men of Bretonia!
No, run!
Armed and ready!
No! Oh, Boglars!
Kill 'em all! Come on, lads!
You should do pretty good against those. The poor things are barely even above the water. Get an image of our guys hacking apart Boglars. Yeah. Look at them cheering in the background. They're like, yeah, we're gonna die. He's like, yeah, look at how strong I am. Chop.
With haste! Ready for battle! For the king!
Dauntless outrage!
Oh. Hey. Actually won. I mean, of course we won. I was expecting for Mia to be much more of a problem. Come on. Pew pew pew. They do lose the benefit from the mists. I think when their leadership gets low. Does it? Yep, leadership lower than 50%. Poor Famia. Heavily armored sods. There's still some animation issues on the Famia. Their tail spikes warp when they move. I think it's been an issue since the Norskans were released as a faction. Our javelins really aren't doing too much against them, just bouncing off their armor. Some of them getting stuck. Okay. Oh yeah, this is actually a Bretonian map. It's just covered in snow. Close victory. Ugh. Giblet. We lost 300. They lost 335. Oh, we killed more of them than they killed of us. That's pretty good. Who killed the most in their army? Beasts killed 53. One unit of Fim Guards killed 74. Trolls didn't do too much. We didn't give them a chance to. Okay, and nice amount of loot. Occupy.
Unbridled power!
And we secured the entirety of Albion. Okay, Citadel fled. I am going to get, first thing, tribal meeting here. For public order. Hunter's Cottage also. Actually, hang on. Hold up, hold up. I'm gonna want Ogham Stones, and I'm gonna want to build that over here. How many turns? 2 more turns. And we're getting basically nothing in terms of upkeep. Okay. Oh, we don't get, what's it called? Commandments for the, region. I suppose it makes sense. Sure. Upgrade our, Obion war bands. And you! Favor. You can get Route Marcher.
The trees tell me much.
And I'm tempted kind of not to build anything here, just so that we can get the third level of tribal. Actually, we're not going to have enough of that. Let's see. 2 turns.
Limitless.
Okay, combine some units.
Foul sorceries.
Combine you two. Combine you two.
Dark magic.
Okay, that's fine.
I hear.
End turn. And we'll end the next turn, then we'll upgrade Conquata. Wait, what? Spirit of the Jungle declares war on Itza. Okay, isn't Spirit of the Jungle Nakai the Wanderer? That's a bit... okay. Oh, the lizardmen are fighting amongst themselves. Not unheard of. What's all this here? Oh, that's Nagareeth. Shrine of... Okay.
Our paths have
You go into Conquata.
battle wizard.
Mother of the Dark Convent.
And end turn. It's interesting that when we're moving our guys around, we get new factions. I wonder what the reason for that is. Gothic and Yvres get a military alliance. Okay. Lord of Cain claimed. Let's get tribal village. And use all of our money in the process. Okay. End turn. Kind of the same as being with the halflings, since we've got little to work with. We're going to have to wait until our armies are strong enough to be able to advance beyond our borders, also just so that we can control Albion and keep control of it when we move away, because public order an issue. Even with our armies in our settlements, still going down. Oh, hello. Vanna Heimlings are coming to attack us. We get strict, that will help.
Madness. No.
Leaf Ghoul Brunson. Marauders, Marauder Javelins, Skin Wolves.
Black Arts.
Lovely. Well, we do have a good garrison here. Not fully healed, but
Be still.
would like you nearby.
A step too far. What brings you here? Jade Wizard.
Sarah, go there.
Enchantress.
Okay. End turn. And what are the Vanna Heimlings going to do? Are they going to come and land and attack Citadel of Lead? Seems like they feel they have a good chance. Saffrey declares war on the Rockblood tribe. Okay. Oh, nope. Let it go. They saw an opening and then they decided, oh wait. Never mind. Spider Sotek dwarves declare war on the spirits of the jungle as well. +5 for raw infantry armor.
Rookie sorceress.
+20. Yep, that seems to be affecting our units. Oh yeah, it is. The Wound Raiders have actually 5 armor now. I think maybe the Huntresses and the Youngbloods do as well. That's pretty nice.
Silence.
my power.
Okay, so then I would like to get Axemaker's Stone and Butcher's Captives.
What is your dark purpose?
Do we have any upgrades which increase their leadership? No. Wait, hang on. Nope. Nope. Oh, wait, hang on. +5 leadership. Okay. And then there's all these. So. And turn. Once we get our settlement leveled up, I am going to... I don't know. Curse rain clouds. Build Ogham Stone, I think, so that we can get some of our heroes. Because I'd prefer a hero from a lord as a spellcaster. We wouldn't have to carry him around with us all over the place. Mousselon gets peace with Bordello, and Crace declares war with the Rockblood tribe. Oh, hello! The Vanderheimlings are back! And they actually landed in our shores. How about that? Oh, they moved there because they could attack Conquata.
Your desire?
Well,
No rest.
you know,
Our paths have
nuts to you?
Powerful enchantress.
what brings you here?
Citadel Blade. Let's get a guard check. And if they go to attack the Isle of Wights, well...
You know nothing.
Do I? Okay. And turn. Carcassonne declares peace with the Dreadfleet and the Shade Wraith. Perone marches her armies around. Or military alliances with the High Elves and declaring war on the Dark Elves. Oh, yeah, he moved down to the Isle of Wights. I'd like to attack with a garrison.
Not a chance.
I only have 11 in your army now.
Sorceress of the Dark Convent.
Madness.
You have Marauders, Skin Wolves, Marauder Hunters, Javelins.
Chosen of Hecate.
We could deal with you. We have better ranged.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
Fell sorcery.
Druid.
Okay, we have upgraded Conquata, but we don't have enough money for the Ogham Stone. No. Or population surplus. We're gonna have to be making most of our money, I think, from sacking. We do have a bonus for sacking, I think, but kind of hard to sack when or raid when you don't have any neighbors on your land. We'd have to go into Norska. And at the moment we're being attacked by Norska. Norska, get off my land. Vanderheimlings! Yeah, you attack the Isle of Wights. You're sieging it though, you're not actually attacking it outright. So what's your army look like?
You know nothing.
Wipe them out.
Oh, it's just a bunch of marauders.
A step too far.
Oh, come on!
So thrilling.
Not a chance.
No, I'm gonna run away.
Tell me much.
I mean, he can't attack on Quatter because it's so
Dark power.
difficult to get anywhere in Albion
Ready.
that they're going to be out of our range.
Party, guide me.
There's no... It's all like difficult terrain and it's taking so much of our movement to march around. It's all the bogs and the swamps. I mean, it affects them as much as it does us, but... Oh, hello. Animar's back to swimming through Obion. Hello. Non-aggression pact. Oh, you're at war with Leoness. Sure. We have no qualms with the no quarrel with the High Elves at the moment. Banner Heimlings goes up there and starts raiding. Oh, great. If I attack you, are you going to flee? Oh, hello. Captain Sissoko declares war on me. Is it because we're in the ocean, technically? Kind of in the ocean. Okay, Capitano. That's a full stack of 20. Level 35 Lord. I hope you're not going to be a threat to me. That's a nasty army you've got there, mate. I imagine. Underneath that fog. I mean, they're taking attrition while they're wandering around all the time, so... Maybe I should just... Oh, whatever. I was going to say maybe I should ambush them, but... Go away, Norskins. And please, Capitano Sissoko, don't attack me. I think this happened when I took Albion as Kislev. Or was it as the Halflings? Might have been as the Halflings. And the pirate here, they declared war on me again. And they sort of marched onto Albion and sort of wandered around for a bit and then left. I think they're declaring war on me because they're close to me. Anyway. It's raiding again. Okay. 25% movement for ambush stance. Do that. Lay an ambush. Maybe it'll work. Don't have enough for the Ogham Stone. Isle of Wights. What's the garrison like? Adds a few units. Albion Warband. Warband with great weapons of bloodhounds. And we have what? Hearthguard. Great weapons. Warbands. 2 warbands with spears and Youngbloods. The extra units might be able to help. We don't get walls at all. No. Okay. Build the Hunter's Cottage up in Citadel Flame. Get more income. It'll help us better than just spending it on thing. If the Isle of Wight gets taken, then well, they'll have exposed themselves because they'll have taken it, and then we can catch them and take it back. Tlaxland declares war on the Rotblood tribe. What are you going to do? Is my ambush going to be successful? Right next to you like this? Hey, it is! How about that? Ooh, we got our settlement garrison in there as well. Aha, you fell for the classic trap. I don't know. We were hiding in the bog the whole time. They're like, where'd they go? Oh well. Let's go and attack the Isle of Wights again. Oh wait, you were there the whole time? I do like that about the AI. That if you lay an ambush, they sort of just completely forget that the army was there. You have to have the AI play along with the player's schemes a little bit. If they were like, the army just disappeared, but they're probably in an ambush stance and I'm not going to go there, then it would be fun. Because you wouldn't be able to ambush them. Anyway, where are you? Oh, you're over here. Okay, do this.
Ready for orders? We serve our liege.
Do that.
Ready for battle.
Huntresses. Actually, Youngbloods go up here, because you're going to be attacking the skin walls. Giant, go there. Oregon, go there.
Supreme sorcery.
And our spellcaster's not even going to be able to get into combat in time.
Dark sorcery. Eager and ready.
Okay, let's have a look at their armies. Oh, hang on. Engage the enemy units. Attack there. Attack them. You attack the skin walls. Attack them. Attack them. Okay. Cast that there. So let's see. Charge! See, where's a good scene? Oh, there we go. Ah! Oh! Dynamic attack! That's a good picture. I mean, it would be better if it looked like he'd just chopped that guy's head off rather than his head stuck in the shield, but... Ah! Oh, look, he hacked someone's arm off there. Yeah, that's pretty good. There we go. It's a very like neutral pose for him to be in, just having cut someone's arm off, but you know. Oh.
Get quick now!
Shoot those skin walls. Shoot those chaos abominations. Hey, victory. Even while I'm watching them just spear skin walls. Ooh, sink kill.
Armed and ready.
Duty's done!
Okay.
Forward!
Shoot them!
Do not disgrace
Pew!
us!
Well, you've disgraced them.
Spearmen at arms!
You've disgraced yourselves. God. I know it's just because of the sheer volume of arrows, but... Pew! Pew!
Marching!
Poke. They're like slashing with the tips of their spears. It looks a bit silly. Decisive battle! 37 losses. 51520611. Wolves only got 1 kill. We probably had a few friendly fire things from Youngbloodz throwing spears into the massive units which are around the skin walls, but yeah, we dealt with them. But now, hopefully, I don't know, Capitano Sisico will go away. I don't have to deal with it. Level 35 Lord, Pirate Lord. Probably a few monstrous undead vampire coast creatures is not something I want to deal with right now. Or cannons. That would be nasty.
Unbridled power.
Oh. Of course we don't outright kill you.
Supreme sorceress of Grog.
Okay. Attack them. Finish them off.
Cower.
There we go. Get some more money.
Raw power.
There we go. Conquata! Build the Ogham Stone.
Revelry.
And you can get warrior culture and or get spirit leech and doom and darkness.
Mother of the Dark Convent.
Okay, and you can get Hunter's Lodge there now.
That is forbidden.
I don't want to know what your army is. Okay, there's no land path here. Which makes sense because we're an island, but means we have to go to the sea if we want to get if we want to leave Albion. I kind of feel perhaps Albion should only have like one location which you can actually get onto the land from. Like either at the port here or one part along the shoreline. Everywhere else should be inaccessible. Just so that it's easy to defend or really difficult to land on. As it is, I mean, it is kind of difficult to land here, I suppose, because you have here, and you have here, and also here, and then there's here. Also here, because you can land on where the dock is, and there's also here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I don't know if I'd have that. Maybe there. Probably not that. Or this. This, and that. I don't know. Anyway, oh, the Ogham Stone. We're also getting a public order penalty lowered by that. You can sit here. You can actually start getting the public order underway. Under control. It did increase the chaos corruption though, but does that affect 3? Nope. Okay, so it's neighboring provinces. Does it affect here? No. Because that's not neighboring. Osmosis is 2, but I think that's just from other settlements. So it only affects Albion. We have that there. That's fine. Okay. Got to be more turn passing. I don't want to go into the ocean to get that, because I feel the pirates would just go, ha-ha! So... Why is the Citadel of Lead our capital? Conquata should be our capital. Why is it? Because we started with Conquata. It doesn't mean anything. Actually, no, it does. It means, this settlement has to have... what's it called? This settlement has to have access to the dock. So if we lose Conquata, then we will lose access to trade. But I mean, if we lose Conquata, we're going to be in a big problem anyway. Armor of the Stars. Okay, plus 10 armor. Defeat the following Lord in battle. Capitano Sisico. No.
Can't be done.
No, it can't be done. And it's praising Slanesh in the dialogue.
Our path.
That's fine. Get fervent. That's what I was going for with you. Lower the chaos corruption a bit.
Dark magic.
End turn. And I think with this turn coming around, I am going to call it for this session of Warhammer 2. So, we've united Albion. We've seen a bunch of their units. Some of their unique spells. They seem like an interesting faction. I mean, the faction is not fully finished yet, though they did just have... The update recently... The mod update recently is what added all these unique units to them, so... Before they were really just Norska with, I think, the Shield Maiden.
Supreme sorceress of Grant.
The, what's it called? Are they Shield Maidens? Sword Maidens, yeah. Oh, they get the 5 armor as well. Not that you'd be able to tell. So, yeah, do they get the woad? Yeah, they do. Okay. So, yeah, I mean... So, what do their armies seem like it would be at the moment? Unreliable infantry with good elite units, cavalry and chariots, as well as these beasts and giants and all that. So our armies are probably going to be minimal infantry. Mostly chariots and cavalry and the monstrous units. Backed up with and so on. The archers are pretty good. I like the huntresses. So far, but their lack of armor piercing is a problem, but I wouldn't expect them to have it. Yeah. Okay. And we've only got the one stone thrower as our ranged unit, artillery. Oh boy, if we go up against cannons or the like. Well, we have light cavalry for that, so we'd be able to chase them down. That's actually when centaurs would come in handy. 84 speed. Oh, and the bloodhounds. That'd be nice to have. 95 speed. 15 armor. The bloodhounds have more armor than the sword maidens. I suppose because they're small and hard to hit, but anyway. Yes. Cool, so armies of cavalry and monsters with some infantry. What about the chieftains? Seeker, Deadly Onslaught. It just seems like they're similar to the Empire Captain. Yeah. Okay, well, as I said, we'll leave Albion there for tonight. A bit of progress. 23 turns in already, but a lot of it's just turning turns over. Building things up and getting income. It'll be interesting to see what will happen in the future. Where will I go? I'm tempted to go into Norska, or possibly the Empire. We're at war with Norska, but the Empire would... actually. I can imagine fighting against Bretonia was going to be a nightmare because we really don't have that much anti-large. We have the half-giants which are anti-large. We have our spearmen, but they're... With that minus 16 or minus 15 leadership they get when they're losing combat, they're not reliable. Also, their armor isn't good enough to really take a charge. Our Hearthguard, they're better, and we have halberd versions of them, so they would be able to deal with them. But they're more expensive and they're more elite, so we don't have them yet. Yeah. It might be nice if we had more bonuses for our giants. Because the giants are kind of a big thing for Albion, and we do have the woad on the giants, which make them tougher. Let's actually have a look. Custom battle, and we'll compare the giants before we leave. Let's see. Truthsayers of Albion versus Beastmen is fine. Beastmen, move all this. So the Beastmen have a giant. They have just the basic giant, which I think the only difference with this... Actually, there's no difference. Ignore Wallbreaker, that's from the mod. So, Albion Giant. Costs more in multiplayer, not that I care about that. Okay, so our Giant is slightly faster, 7 more speed, and it's got 5 more melee defense. Same health, same armor, same leadership, same melee attack, same weapon strength, same charge bonus. But we also get the 25 physical resistance and also the 50% physical resistance. So we get the 40 physical resistance as long as our mana is high. Which is pretty nice for a giant. That does make them tougher. It would be nice if we could have giants which threw stones. Because that was supposed to be a way which Albion was able to defend their shores by having giants which throw stones at passing ships. However, the only unit which throws stones is the Cygor. And the Cygor, while it is similar to a giant in height, it looks very different. It's got cloven feet, it's got fur, it's got a single eye, it's got horns. And you can't just use the animation for the Cygor throwing rocks and stick it to the giant, because they've got different skeletons. It would look very warped. So yeah. It is... I mean, maybe you could do up a Cygor. There is that mod maker who's doing Elite Chaos, and I think he's doing unique models. For some of these units. Or at least, like, I think he's, like, making helmets for them, which are heads. Because I think he made a Bloodthirster head. To stick on top of a, like a gore or something, which you'd use as the base for the, Bloodthirster. Anyway. So you could possibly make, like, a giant head to stick on top of the Cygor. Whatever. Anyway. So yeah. They're actually pretty similar. That's interesting. They are. Ours are just slightly faster. And have more melee defense. But as I said, it might be nice if we had, like, more skills in our Lord's trees. Particularly maybe for the Truthsayers, which buff the stats of giants specifically. Or something. I'm not too sure. Anyway. There's also the, what's it called? Research tree, which isn't done for the faction. Besides all that. Anyway, I keep saying anyway. That will be it for Warhammer 2 Albion for tonight. So, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you'll join me for the next one.